Guess how much money they're spending on this effort? They're spending $9 million in 6 months. $9 million in 6 months to lobby Trump administration in order to let them know, hey, we're taking care of issues in Nigeria, and we don't need you to come and bomb the northern part of the country where some of these challenges are taking place. So do you think this is a good way of spending the resources in Nigeria?
I think is an age-long tradition. I don't really see anything wrong with it. The only problem I have with it is that that's a whole lot of money. I think it would be a lot easier for Nigerian government to do the right thing, do right by their people, than to be spending huge amount of money lobbying for them to be seen as people that are responsible. Is that $9 million in 6 months? In 1 year, that's about $18 million. Convert that to naira, that is a lot of money that can build quite a number of schools, that can fund a lot of programs to better the life of the people.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to YNE Podcast. Thank you for joining us. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, like, share, and engage with us in the comment section. It's no longer news that the Nigerian federal government, they have entered into a contract with a lobbying agency to lobby for them in order to put out their messages out to the people in the US, in order to convince the Trump administration that the Christians are not being killed or unalived in Nigeria. And guess how much money they're spending on this effort? They're spending $9 million in 6 months. $9 million in 6 months to lobby Trump administration in order to let them know, hey, we're taking care of issues in Nigeria, and we don't need you to come and bomb the northern part of the country where some of these challenges are taking place. So do you think this is a good way of spending the resources in Nigeria? That is still not enough, because it looks like the government continues to borrow money, but it looks like they're wasting it. Well, if you're telling me that it's important for them to put out their message, right? So where is the place of the ambassador? The ambassador to the US, where's their place? Why do you have to pay a national agency to pass your message across to the Trump administration when you already have an ambassador in place in our country?
I think is a common practice for countries, for organizations, and for people, largely for companies and countries, to be able to make their case. And in trying to make that case, so a lot of time there are these established organizations that are able to help you make your case, and those companies are just strictly into lobbying the U.S. government to probably make a favorable policies towards your company or towards your country, or to prioritize your company or to prioritize your country. I think this is not out of order. I think is an age-long tradition. I don't really see anything wrong with it. The only problem I have with it is that that's a whole lot of money. I think it would be a lot easier for Nigerian government to do the right thing, do right by their people, than to be spending down huge amount of money lobbying for them to be seen as people that are responsible. I think that is what the Nigerian government is trying to do. They are trying to have the US see them in a very positive light, even though they are not, than actually being in a very good stand. So that $9 million in 6 months, in 1 year, that's about $18 million. Convert that to naira, that is a lot of money that can build quite a number of schools, that can fund a lot of programs to better the life of the people. So if you ask me, I would think that is a misplaced priority. Though they want their case to be heard, they want to present their own side of the story, but I would think that is unnecessary spending, and that spending to me is not justified.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you that it is not a justified expense, and it's embarrassing that a country as big as Nigeria, instead of them to do the right thing, they're spending money doing propaganda. Because it looks like the government of the day likes propaganda. They would rather do propaganda instead of governing, instead of doing the real job and real thing to make the life of the people better. They rather invest in propaganda and continue to improve their optics instead of truly fixing the problem, fixing the root cause of the problem that they're having in Nigeria. To me, I believe this is an absolute waste of money. There's no guarantee that the lobby is going to get the desired results. You're basically robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're paying organizations that are already making money, and it's not going to benefit the people. So I don't think it's going to work. There's no guarantee that what they're looking for will be delivered to them. We know that the Trump administration, they speak the language of money, but you can't change Trump's mind with $9 million. Got to be more than that, right? You got to either buy him a private jet or either give him something much more than that. I don't think Nigeria is equipped for that. I'm sure there are some people speaking to his ears saying, hey, this is the direction we need to go. And again, they can advise the president, but the president still have the authority to make the final decision. The buck stops with the president. So it's going to make a decision whether people in Nigeria like it or not. And I believe that it's a waste of money. The lobbying will probably not work. And it's just an absolute waste of money. It's better for the government to do the right thing, put out clean messages, let people see that you're truly taking actions and all of these issues that they've accused the Nigerian government of being part of, the corruption, Christian genocide in the northern part of the country. And let people know that you're truly working to fix it and not just waste the resources of the people. Sure, there are government officials that haven't been paid in a long time. There are government retirees that haven't been paid. The lies is that there's no money, but you have money to pay an outside agency to help you pass your message across. And people in there are still suffering. They're not getting paid, and nothing is improving.
Yeah, I don't think the lobbying in itself is a bad thing. Almost every countries of the world, apart from the US, almost every single country you see in the world, apart from the US, lobbies US government. In fact, I would also think that US even lobby other people to make policies that are favorable to their cause. I think last year in 2024, 2020, Japan spent almost $50 million lobbying the US government. In fact, people lobby for different reasons. People lobby for the US government to give them aid, to increase their aid and stuff like that. And in this case, it looks like Nigeria is lobbying so that the US doesn't come back for the second strike. But me, I still see it as a window dressing. I think it would be much more easier for them to address, the situation they have at home than, paying this money. You made mention of ambassador. Well, our ambassador, they haven't posted them yet. But even if we have ambassadors are not lobbyists. There are people that are, their work and their job and all of what they do is lobby. They have insiders. They have access to the president. Our ambassador probably don't have access to any of those people. So those lobby companies, that is what they do. That is what they handle. But for me, I just think that it will be a lot more easier for Tinubu administration to use the money in total, about $18 million a year. So I think it will go a long way in addressing the real issue than just giving them away.
So let me hear your opinion. Do you think they'll get a desired result from this investment?
They'll probably do. Maybe they'll be able to convince Trump not to come for the second strike. Maybe they will just tell him that they are actively working on something or working on it, or they have been able to address it. I think that is the desired result. And maybe that's why they just paid for the 6 months. Otherwise, they probably would have paid for maybe for the 1 year. Maybe that 6 months will give them enough time to address the situation.
To be honest with you, I don't see them getting the desired result. I mean, you can talk to the president, you can tell him what you want him to hear, but at the end of the day, he's still gonna make up his mind. He's still got people speaking into his ear saying, "This is what we need to do. This is how we need to go." So I don't think it's gonna work, but they're trying. I still think it's a waste of money. I don't think it's gonna benefit the lives of any Nigerians at all. How about you just sit tight and fix the insecurity issues and make sure everything goes away and you won't have to worry about paying a lobbying firm a lot of money to be able to pass your messages across.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's window dressing. They could have spent that money to address the situation, but we never know. We are not in government. We don't have access to information. We don't know what the government knows. So they are probably in the right position to make the decision for the entire country. Let us know what you think about the lobbying. Nigerian government spending about $9 million in 6 months to lobby a U.S. lobby firm to pass their message to Trump. Do you think this is a good thing? This is a money well spent, or this is just a waste of money? Let us know what you think. I will be happy to engage with you in the comment section.